HarperCollins presents Comfort in Darkness by Rickson Gracie with Peter McGuire. Read by Fred Sanders. To my wife, Cassia, and my children, Hoxon, Kaolin, Kawan, and Crone. Preface. The Rickson Gracie Dialectic by Peter McGuire. Today, the phrase mixed martial arts, MMA, conjures images of heavily tattooed, steroid-swollen monsters pounding each other bloody and senseless in metal cages to the blaring sounds of heavy metal music before a global television audience. Although Rickson Gracie, arguably the greatest MMA fighter of the 20th century, looks and carries himself more like a Latin American aristocrat than an MMA Ubermensch, the Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC, is his family's creation and grew out of the martial art they invented. Gracie is regularly compared to sports greats like basketball player Michael Jordan or hockey player Wayne Gretzky, but a more accurate analogy may be dancer Rudolf Nureyev, the bullfighter Manolete, or chess master Garry Kasparov. After American wrestling legend and Olympic gold medalist Mark Schultz, Foxcatcher, lost twice to Gracie in a private match, he said simply, "Rickson was the best fighter I'd ever seen." Although Rickson Gracie's 3 decades of total dominance in competition Jiu Jitsu and bare-knuckle vale tudo, the much tougher antecedent to MMA fighting, is astounding, even more astounding is the serenity and spiritual depth of his approach to hand-to-hand combat. Gracie's relationship with martial arts is more of an example of Friedrich Nietzsche's happy gay science, Die fröhliche Wissenschaft, than it is a vindication of the UFC's American entrepreneurial dream. His training regimen is neither solemn nor self-important, nor exhibitionistic. Rather, it is playful, flexible, and even light-hearted. When Gracie exercises, he does not count sets, much less watch the clock. Instead, he tries to reach a state where he feels a balance between his mind, body, and spirit. For Rickson Gracie, his art is not a sport. It is a philosophical practice. To him, the most interesting aspects of martial arts are not the techniques, but the invisible elements, the ever-changing senses of touch, weight, and momentum. His explanations of Jiu Jitsu are reminiscent of Zen Buddhist Takuan Soho's description of immovable wisdom in swordsmanship, or Eugen Herrigel's unconscious control in Zen archery. Today, the retired champion is no longer interested in MMA or competitive jiu-jitsu. Instead, he uses his art as a tool to teach students about themselves, a fact I can personally attest to. I first met Rickson Gracie at his now legendary Pico Academy in the summer of 1992. I was finishing my Ph.D. in history at Columbia University, but was in Los Angeles for the summer. For the previous 2 years, I had been training with a martial artist in New York City, who was a physically brilliant autodidact. Long before the UFC, he was teaching a handful of students an early version of mixed martial arts. In addition to holding several black belts in traditional martial arts, our teacher had kickboxed professionally and fought underground fights in New York City's Chinatown and Long Island's Native American reservations. In a loft in Manhattan, he taught me and a handful of others kickboxing, boxing, Wing Chun Kung Fu, grappling, and knife fighting. After I got my hands on a copy of Rickson Gracie's Gracie in Action videotape in 1990, my classmates and I watched it over and over. Before the Internet, all of us aspiring martial artists traded fight tapes like religious relics, and none was more prized than Gracie in Action. Not only did it introduce us to the Gracies, the first family of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but the sight of skinny Brazilians also tackling and choking out kickboxers who were far better than us was eye-opening. This, coupled with Rickson Gracie's provocative mantra that all fights end up on the ground, planted seeds of doubt in my mind about my reliance on punching and kicking. During the summer of 1992, a wrestler friend told me that Rickson, the greatest Gracie, had opened a school in West L.A. I asked him to try to get me a private lesson,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?